Oh boy, here we go again. Sealed Only is a very interesting challenge in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. Forcing you to deck build from a limited card pool that gradually increases, allows you to try new strategies and play cards that wouldn't otherwise see play. So naturally, I want to give this challenge another shot. With a budget of £20 every 2 weeks, I'm going to attempt to make my way to a full power Phantom Knights deck, starting only from a singular legendary hero decks. However, the challenge, all of my cards have to come exclusively from sealed product. Welcome to Sealed Season 2. Alright, so welcome to the opening for episode 2 of Sealed Season 2. If you did miss the last opening, we cracked open a box of the Legendary Hero decks and built our first build out of it, and it was pretty bad, not gonna lie. A lot of the cards clashed with each other, especially the Destiny Hero and PK engines, but we're here to remedy that today. So for this opening, I have another of the PK Legendary Hero decks, specifically only the PK one. And also, to top that off, we have 3 packs of Phantom Rage, just to go ahead and see if we can pull a Stained Greaves, a Torn Scales, or the Rank Up Spell, Raider's Knight, etc, etc. Let's go ahead and just get to this opening, though. We'll open the packs of Phantom Rage second. Let's go ahead and crack this open real quick. We've already opened this already, so I'm not gonna, show all the details of it. If you do want to see the opening of this, that was in the last episode, and you can go ahead and check that out in the description below. We managed to find the tab relatively quickly this time, so there we go. So let's go ahead and just, I'll go ahead and separate out all the cards we're gonna be playing out of this. Because other than the stuff we're playing, I don't really need to highlight anything, so yeah, let's just speed through this real quick. Play all of these. Third Boots, third Cloak, the second Mountain Butterspy, the second Junk Forward, the second Kage Tonight, the second Cockadoodledoo, the second Effect Veiler, the second Fog Blade, another Sword I think we need from this, another Wing I think we need from this, the Shade Brig, the extra Tomb Shield for the side deck, and then an extra Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, an extra Evil Swarm Nightmare, and then these two as extras. So yeah, that's everything we're going to go ahead and need from this. It's just another way to bolster our PK count and also just make the deck look a little neater. I might have forgotten something in this list of cards, but if I have, hey-ho. But, that's it. That's it for the Legendary Hero deck. So yeah, this opening's going to be relatively short, as all we have to open is 3 packs of Phantom Rage. So there's a lot in this set that could go ahead and help us out. So let's go ahead and crack this open and see what's in the first pack of this. Stained Greaves is a common, so we're hoping to pull at least one of that. Qinglong, a Penguin Brave, Infinity Conjurer, Hinazumi Hanabi, and it's an ultra rare, but it's a bad one, Dogmatica Ashian. Oh, that sucks. Rookie for Hire, Mutant Clash, Muhammad the Fairy Dragon, and a Jack in the Hand. Jack in the Hand's a really cool card, but it's not very good. Oh, if this was any other Ultra, this would be nice, but it's just an Ashian. Can we make use of this? It's sent to the game. I mean, maybe? But, I don't think we can. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, pack number 2. Our first card of this pack is a Virtual Zeshijiji. Hinazumi Hanabi, Awakening of the Past Gigabyte, Tri-Brigade Rugal, Virtual World Dragon Long, Tri-Brigade Oath, UA Locker Room, Jabbing Panda, and a Dual Avatar Return. Oh dear, we don't have a single Stained Greaves. That is unfortunate. We need one of that. We have 1 pack of Phantom Rage left. Let's get it. Let's take a look at this. Infinity Wildcat, Tri-Brigade Standoff, Proofiness, the Tactical Trapper, Penguin Brave. Whoa, okay! That's kind of big. Divine Arsenal, Double A Zeus, Sky Thunder. Damn, that's... we have a Zeus, and we can almost definitely make use of... That's a sick pull, by the way. That's actually really nice. Okay. Yeah, okay. I should probably, sleeve that up immediately. We're gonna, leave that there delicately for now. But, yeah, Rookie for Hire, Raider's Unbreakable Mind, Tri-Brigade Oath, and UA Man of the Match. No for Stained Greaves, unfortunately, but I can't really be mad. I pulled an Ultra and a Secret. Zeus? Okay. Yeah, I can work with that. Opening rather short, only 5 minutes, but Zeus, we can make use of him. I guess all that's left for me to do now is update the list and get back to you. But yeah, we got a couple of changes we're gonna be making to the list here, so let's go ahead and do that, huh? Alright, so the immediate thing I'm gonna be doing for this episode is cutting out the hero engine. It was quite nice in the last episode, especially with Armageddon Knights and Melee. However, I feel like it's definitely run its course, and we can't make use of most of this stuff anymore, and it's just like a bricky engine. So we're going to be cutting it in favor of a lot of PK stuff in hopes of increasing our grind game. So instead, we're going to be switching this out for the Zeus, obviously, and then we're also going to be switching these cards out for a Levia, a Dante, a Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, a Breaksword, a Bardiche, and then maybe a second copy of Evil Swarm Nightmare, I don't quite know yet. But yeah, let's go ahead and redo this list real quick. Alright, I'm just going to do a quick deck profile real quick just to show the changes I've made to the deck between episodes 1 and 2. The changes are quite significant, because as you can imagine, because we cut the entire hero engine and added some other stuff. But yeah, let's just go through it real quick. 3 Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak, 3 Phantom Knights of Silent Boots, and 3 Phantom Knights of Ragged Gloves. We need 3 of each of these, because these are just the names and they help us grind really well, so we want 3 of each. Gloves will be getting cut down eventually. But for now, in this early build, playing 3 gloves is fine. Also, we just want to see, like, one of these names in our opening hand regardless, because one name basically gets us to the other names. So that's why we want to see as many of these as possible, and that's why we're on 3 of each. And then the 1 Cloven Helm. Armageddon Knight is just the best normal summon in the deck, so we play 1. Normal summoning Armageddon Knight instead of another Dark sets up everything, so that's why we're doing that. Double Kagemuchi Knight. If we summon any of these, we can just go ahead and put them on the field for free, so there's no reason not to be on as many of them as possible. Junk Forward and Cockadoodle-Doo are both just level 3 bodies that put themselves in the field, or, as I learned, Cockadoodle-Doo can be quite a strong level 4 body as well when you need to push later in the game. Blue Mountain Butterspy just puts itself on the field whenever a Dark is normal summoned, so we'll probably be playing this for quite a while. Inflating Conjurer, this card's actually really good. Just having no cards in hand and then being able to bring him back is really useful, especially for the late game, because you're always just going to be using it to Xyz and then detaching it, so it won't be getting banished, so you'll have it for the next turn as well. So that's just really good. And then, lastly, just double Veiler. It's the only hand trap we have, so we're maxing out on it. And of course, Veiler is just a good hand trap in general. Moving on to the spells, we have double Phantom Knight's Launch. Chalice, just to go ahead and... it's just an extra negate, basically. Twin Twisters to deal with back row. This will be getting moved to the side eventually, but we don't have that many better options for now, so we're just on Twins. Reborn is just a free extender. Foolish, it adds up the grave, and Rhoda to add literally the entire deck to the hand. No reason not to play one of each of these 3 for now. Monster Reborn might get cut in a future build, but for now it's just really good for us, and these 2 cards are just great as well. Alright, and then just for the traps real quick, 2 Fog Blades. We should be playing as many of these as we have. It's just being able to get an interruption off Bardiche and then get the second one off Boots is really good for us. Double Shade Brigadier, it's just another extender. We want to open it if we can, so it's really nice. Probably will get cut back to 1 eventually, because that stipulation where you have to have no traps in grave is kind of rough. But for now, it's really good for us. Double Wing, there's a third of this in the side deck. Basically, just for longer grind games, I'm always going to put in extra copies of Wings, and that's why we like that. Triple Phantom Knight Sword. I know being on 3 of this is going to be quite questionable, but I just wanted, like, basically I wanted these 5 just for their revive effects, and then Folkblade has it as well, so we have 7 revive effects that we can just send to grave with Bardiche, and also just dump off of cards. And then Mist Claws, just to add a little bit of extra grind. You can just target one and go banish PKs and get it back to hand. So overall, Mist Claws is just really good, and I really like this card overall. Yeah, that's it for the main deck. Still 40 cards. I don't think I would make any huge changes right now. Maybe cut a sword for, like, a second Mist Claws or something. Alright then, and then extra deck real quick. It's just 2 Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche. I know in standard builds you only play 1. But we're struggling for extra deck options as it is, and honestly having the second Bardiche for the grind is just really nice. 2 Phantom Knights Breaksword. We want to be playing 2 of this probably for the rest of the series. Being able to just pop a card and then put 2 more bodies on field is really good, and then summoning it to Bardiche's zone and then getting Bardiche to pop it works really well as well. Levia, just to extend into certain lines and just be able to bring back a Dark is nice. Double Dante, being able to detach and put a PK in grave is really good, as well as milling 3, just put stuff in the grave. This Dante is another reason why I wanted to play more traps than I normally would, just so we can have an extra chance of putting them in grave. Virtual World Dragon Long. We pulled this, and it's a rank 3 that we can make, so I figured, why not? It might come up. Evil Swarm Nightmare. It's our best going first play. We can summon it, and then whenever our opponent special summons, we touch 1 and set it. So overall, it's just really good. Evil Swarm Thanatos. I know I said I was going to cut this in the initial segment, But I've actually changed my mind and decided to cut Scrap Dragon instead, purely because I think Thanatos helping us with the Zeus line is just going to be really nice as well. Being able to play around stuff like Nib, being able to play around Pops is just really good as well, so yeah, that's why I like Thanatos. Double Dark Rebellion, just to help increase the chances of making Requiem, and also just to be able to help swing over things, it comes up as well. Dark Requiem, we're going to be summoning this off launch if we ever do, and it's just like really strong. Like, it's 2 negates on its own. With the rank up, we can put a 3rd material under it, so it's just really nice. And then, of course, Divine Arsenal, Double A Zeus, Sky Thunder. Being able to just XZ summon this on top of any monster and then have, like, a full board wipe is insane. And I feel like this is going to help us out a lot. I feel like it's going to steal us 1, maybe 2 games. I hope, at least. Hopefully we're going to win some games this episode, but I don't know. And then, wrapping it all up, of course, is just Coral Dragon. It's the easiest synchro we have to make, and we can make it with Cock, so it might come up. And then, wrapping up the deck profile, the side deck, 1 Plasma. Yes, this is in a different sleeve for the rest of the deck, because I was playing it in Striker. Yes, I don't care. Anyways, yeah, we're just playing it. Like, we can slide this in against certain matchups and put bodies on the field and summon it. It's not awful, but, like, this is probably going to be one of the first things to go. We're still on Gold Facts for the Synchro matchups. They're still not great, but it's just a free body into stuff like Sword Soul. Forbidden Dress and Lance for more trap-heavy matchups. Same with MST and Hatrunade. Triple Dark Hole, because it's the best board wipe we have going second. We're on 3 now instead of 2, because we had got the 3rd one from the extra PK deck. And then the 3rd Wing for more grindier matchups. I'll put this in it whenever I'm looking at a matchup and going, yeah, I need more grind power, I'll put the 3rd Wing in. 2 Phantom Knights of Tomb Shield, just to be able to go ahead and get traps rather into the trap matchup. Phantom Knights of Lost Frown Brace, this is one of the cards I'm going to cut as early as I can, but being able to, like, make a monster not be able to be destroyed by battle this turn is, like, alright. But yeah, a card I don't think I'm ever actually going to use, but might come up is Raider's Unbreakable Mind. So this is whenever you use a dark monster on your field as XYZ material, you can pop a card on the field. And then when it's popped, you can set a rank up magic from your deck. And also, if we use Dark Rebellion to go ahead, if we use Dark Rebellion or Break Sword to go ahead and make Zeus, we can trigger this pop as well. Yeah, that's it for the side deck, and that is it for the deck profile. Feeling a lot more confident in this list than I have in the previous couple. This list has a lot more going for it in terms of being able to just control the board state and just come back from little to nothing. That's it for the deck, and let's jump straight in to the games. I'll see you guys there. Okay, real quick before jumping into the games, I want to introduce a new system to the series. Borrowing from Revs cards, I want to implement a win streak and objective bounty system to my series. So in short, we'll be rewarded for completing certain objectives and going on win streaks throughout the series. This is to make certain product that would make the challenge far too easy harder to obtain, such as Dual Devastator, and also to help show the deck's progression throughout the series as we'll see us going on more and more win streaks. Also, win streaks will only be able to be collected once the win streak breaks, so say we go on a 5 win streak but then lose, we'll be able to collect whatever the reward was for that win streak. So for the first 5 episodes, winning 3 duels in a row nets us an extra £3 onto the budget, winning 4 duels in a row gets us an extra £5 on the budget, and for 5 wins in a row we'll be able to buy a structure deck in addition to our budget for that week. We also have what I'm going to call our objective bounties. These are tasks that if completed within a certain amount of episodes, we will be able to get certain rewards from them. So for our first objective bounties, we have 3 episodes to summon a copy of Masked Hero Darklaw, and summon a copy of Dark Requiem XYZ Dragon. Last episode, we were able to summon the copy of Masked Hero Darklaw, so that means all that's left to do within the next 2 episodes is summon Dark Requiem XYZ Dragon, and we will be able to claim that bounty. And the reward for being able to complete these objective bounties is being able to open a box of Dual Devastator starting from episode 5. So with the objectives in place, all that's left for us to do is move on to the games. Okay, so today we have 2 remote duels, and the first is against a member of Code Accord RJ on Unchained. Starting off, I win the die roll and choose to go first. I start by activating Reinforcement of the Army to add the Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak to my hand. I then special summon Junk Forward from my hand before normal summoning Ancient Cloak and then triggering Kagemucha Knight to summon itself. I then overlay Kagemucha Knight and Ancient Cloak to XZ summon Dante. Using Dante's effect, I mill 3 cards, milling the Rank Up spell, a Mist Claws, and a copy of Silent Boots. I then banish both of the Phantom Knights in my grave, adding a Fogblade and a Shade Brigandine before setting 2 cards and passing the turn. My opponent draws for turn and then immediately in the main phase activates Harpy's Feather Duster to destroy my back row. I do go ahead and chain the Shade Brick here so that we don't lose it though. They then put a card face down and use the effect of Unchained Twins or Ruha to pop the set card and summon itself. They then do Unchained things for a bit before ending on a board of Unchained Soul of Rage with 2 set cards, one of which I know is Escape of the Unchained. They pass it over to us and we draw for turn, however with the kill power that Unchained has and me not being able to do anything on my current hand, I decide to go ahead and scoop it up and move to game 2. It's game 2 and we're starting again, so I start by normal summoning Ancient Cloak and then triggering the effect of Kagemucha Knight. I then special summon Silent Boots from my hand before activating the Shade Brigandine and then linking off Silent Boots, Kagemucha Knight, and Shade Brig for a copy of the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche. After this, I activate the effect of Ancient Cloak to switch itself to defense and give Bardiche 800 attack points. I activate the effect of Bardiche to send a Ragged Gloves from my deck to the graveyard and then set a Fog Blade to my field. I activate Foolish to send Infernity Conjurer, and then as I have no cards in my hand, I'm able to bring back the Infernity Conjurer with its own effect. I then overlay both of the level 3s on my field into a copy of Phantom Knights of Breaksword. The effect of Bardiche triggers as a monster is summoned to a zone it points to pop the Breaksword, which then triggers Breaksword's effect to bring back Ragged Gloves and Ancient Cloak from the graveyard. As both of the monsters are now level 4 due to Breaksword's effect, I overlay them for a copy of Evil Swarm Nightmare, before banishing the Silent Boots in my graveyard to get another Fog Blade, setting it face down, and passing the turn. They start their turn with a Lightning Storm to clear the 2 set Fog Blades before normal summoning Unchained Twin Sarama. They go to battle phase and swing Sarama into Bardiche, which lets them trigger Sarama's effect and trigger the Abominable Unchained Soul in their hand to summon itself. They summon Unchained Soul of Disaster using Sarama and then trigger the effect of Unchained Abomination, pitching Plasma to pop Bardiche. Still in the battle phase, they attack over Evil Swarm Nightmare with a bomb before moving to the main phase 2 and activating a copy of Pot of Prosperity to go ahead and add another copy of Pot of Prosperity to their hand. They then pass the turn, but during the end phase, we activate one of the Fog Blades in our graveyard, banishing it to bring back Bardiche. I start my turn by activating the effect of the other Fog Blade in my grave, banishing it to bring back Breaksword and trigger the effect of Bardiche to pop their Rage. This forces out the effect of Rage, which is used to link summon a Unicorn using itself and Breaksword, and then Unicorn's effect is used to put Bardiche back in the extra deck. I go ahead and normal summon an Ancient Cloak and then use the effect of Infernity Conjurer in the graveyard to summon itself, and then overlay both monsters into a copy of Breaksword. I use Breaksword's effect to pop itself in Unicorn, and then trigger the effect of Breaksword to bring back 2 Ancient Cloaks and overlay both of them as they're now level 4 into Evil Swarm Thanatos. We attempt to enter the battle phase, but RJ activates Nibiru, but fortunately for us, we can chain Thanatos effect so it won't be tributed, and if Nibiru doesn't tribute, it doesn't summon, so we still have a clear shot at their life points. We move to the battle phase and hit in for 2,350 damage with Evil Swarm Thanatos before moving straight to the main phase 2 and slapping a Zeus on top of it. The pulls from this episode are really coming in handy, and I'm glad about it. It's nice to actually have a lot of new additions to the deck that are making something happen. I then banish a copy of Ragged Gloves from my graveyard so I can go ahead and send a Silent Boots, which I then banish to add a Phantom Knight's Wing to my hand before setting one card face down and passing the turn. RJ draws, but luckily for us, they immediately have to pass the turn back to us, so from there we're able to assemble Lethal by summoning back Infernity Conjurer and using an Ancient Cloak to get another PK to win us the first game of the season. Okay, it's time for that all-important Game 3, and I'm being made to go first again. I start by doing a very similar combo as the last duel, but however, I do get Nibiru'd, so I'm forced to go ahead and set 3 cards face down and pass the turn. They start their turn off by moving straight to the battle phase and attempting to crash Nibiru into the Nibiru token. Having the read that they either have Evenly or Lightning Storm in their hand, I go ahead and use Phantom Knight's Wing to make Nibiru bigger than the token, so therefore they don't have an open board to use either of those cards. They move to the main phase 2 and start doing Unchained things for a bit. At one point, I was forced to Fog Blade and a bomb because we were losing it either way, so they go ahead and manage to end on an end board of Unchained Soul of Rage, pass. And of course, during the end phase, I banish the Fog Blade in my graveyard to bring back a copy of Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche. Drawing for turn, I start off by using the effect of the Phantom Knight's Wing in my graveyard to bring back a copy of Ancient Cloak. I then set a card before using the effect of Infernity Conjurer to go ahead and summon itself back. They attempt to use the effect of Unchained Soul of Rage to link summon, but I negate that with another Fog Blade that I had set, so we are good to keep comboing. I overlay both level 3s into Breaksword and use Breaksword's effect to pop itself in the Unchained Soul of Rage. This does trigger the effect of Unchained Soul of Rage to add back Unchained Abomination, but we also get to use Breaksword's effect to summon back Cloak and Gloves. I overlay the now level 4 Cloak and Gloves into a copy of Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon and use the effect of Dark Rebellion to half the attack of Nibiru and have itself gain that amount. I enter the battle phase and use Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon to attack over the Nibiru. However, this does trigger the effect of the Unchained Abomination in the hand, which lets them summon it and pop Bardiche. I then pass my turn with a 4,000 attack Dark Rebellion on my field and 2 set cards. RJ draws for turn and activates a Pot of Prosperity to add Unchained Twin Sarama to their hand. On resolution of Prosperity, I activate Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Launch on Dark Rebellion to rank it up into Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon, completing the second challenge and meaning I will be able to open Dual Devastator at some point within the near future. I was hoping summoning Requiem here would give me at least a few more pieces of interaction, but unfortunately a Gamma Seal comes down and quickly crushes that hope. They then do Unchained things again for a bit before ending on a board of Sarama, Rage, and Unchained Abomination, before moving to battle phase and attacking directly with Sarama and Rage, which I let go through. However, I use Fog Blade in my graveyard to bring back Breaksword, and then use Phantom Knight Sword on Breaksword to make it so it won't be destroyed by the Abomination's attack. In the main phase 2, they link off of a Rage and Sarama into the Anguish, and then use Anguish's effect to link off itself and Breaksword to summon a copy of Unchained Abomination. My turn again, and I set a card, bring back Conjurer, null summon Ancient Cloak, and overlay both monsters for Dante. Using Dante's effect, I mill 3 cards, milling a Blue Mountain Butterspy, a Reinforcement of the Army, and a Phantom Knights of Mist Claws. I then use Ragged Gloves to send a Silent Boots from my deck to my graveyard, and banish the Silent Boots to add a Phantom Knight Sword to my hand, and then set a card before passing the turn. They draw for turn and activate Mind Control to take control of Dante, and then use Dante's effect to mill Rakea, Aruha, and Abomination's Prison. They then enter the battle phase and attack with Abomination, but I'm able to use the Mist Claws that I milled off of Dante to summon itself an Ancient Cloak to block the attacks. They attack over Mist Claws and attempt to use Abomination's effect to destroy Ancient Cloak, but I use the set Phantom Knight Sword so that Ancient Cloak can live the hit, so we take no damage for that turn. They go to the end phase and use the effect of Unchained Abomination to pop Dante so that we don't get it back. Drawing for turn, I start by using the effect of Cock-a-Doodle-Doo in my hand to summon itself as a level 4, and then bring back Infernity Conjurer from my graveyard once again as I have no cards in my hand. I then use the Phantom Knight Sword in my graveyard to go ahead and revive Breaksword. I then banish Ancient Cloak to add Cloven Helm to my hand before normal summoning it, and then overlaying it and Cock-a-Doodle-Doo to Xyz summon a second Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. I use the effect of Dark Rebellion to half the attack of Unchained Abomination, and then attack over it with Breaksword, and use Dark Rebellion to hit over Abominable Unchained Soul. I then trigger the effect of Cloven Helm, banishing itself to add back a PK card during the end phase. I then link all 3 Dark Monsters on my field into a copy of Bardiche, and use Bardiche to send an Ancient Cloak and set a Phantom Knight's Wing to my field. RJ starts by normal summoning Rakea, and then going into the battle phase and attacking Bardiche with Rakea. However, I use Phantom Knight's Wing on the Rakea to stop it from being destroyed so they can't get any advantage off of it. They then use Soul to hit over Bardiche before linking both monsters into an Unchained Soul of Rage and passing the turn. In the end phase, I use Wings to revive Bardiche, and then I draw for turn and summon the Shade Brigandine, and then normal summon Armageddon Knight and use its effect to send the Ragged Gloves. On res, Rage linked itself and Shade Brigandine off into a copy of Unchained Soul of Anguish. However, this doesn't really matter, as I am just able to use Ragged Gloves to send another copy of Phantom Knight's Wig to my graveyard, and then use Wing to revive Breaksword and trigger Bardiche's effect to pop the Anguish, which means we have more than enough for lethal on field, so we go ahead and attack the game, winning the first match of the series. Alright, we won match 1, let's see if we can carry that momentum over into match 2. We're up against a friend of mine, Ducky, and he is playing Megalith. He goes first, but I'm going to assume his opening hand wasn't that great, as his only play is to set a card face down and pass the turn. We start by special summoning Cock-a-Doodle-Doo, and then normal summon Ragged Gloves. I overlay the 2 monsters to make Dante, and then use Dante's effect to mill 3, milling a Twin Twister, a Kage Muchinite, and an Effect Veiler. I move to the battle phase and hit him for 2500 damage with Dante, before moving to the main phase 2 and slapping a Zeus on top of the Dante, and passing the turn. Zeus really has been putting in a lot of work this episode, and I'm really happy we pulled it. It's a really good card for the deck. I go ahead and set a card before passing the turn over to Ducky. They draw for turn, activating Incantation Candle, revealing Incantation Inception. They then special summon Talismandra from Candle, and here they proceed to combo off for a little bit until they get to a field of Haggith, Full, and Megalith Portal. I decide to Zeus here, as I knew Ducky had already used most of the Megalith monster's effects, and he only had 1 or 2 cards in hand to play through it, so I was pretty confident this was the correct time to use the Zeus. And I was proven right, as they go ahead and pass the turn after that, so all that's left for me to do is switch Zeus to attack and summon Breaksword with Ragged Gloves and Silent Boots to pretty convincingly lock down game 1. Game 2, and I'm going second once again. So Ducky starts his turn with a Megalith combo, and a Veiler on the Manju just isn't enough to stop them from ending on a board of Megalith Emergence, Megalith Aratron, Megalith Full, and Megalith Portal. Alright, so our turn, we start with normal summoning Ragged Gloves, and then triggering Kage Muchinite in my hand to summon itself. I then overlay both my level 3s into Breaksword with 3000 attack as it was summoned using Ragged Gloves. I attempt to move to the battle phase, however they do trigger the effect of Megalith Full to summon Megalith Phalag. However, this didn't really change my plan, as I still go to the battle phase, hit over Full with Breaksword, and then summon Zeus using Breaksword. I did think on this for a little bit, but I did decide to go ahead and use the effect of Zeus right then to clear the field, and then I set 2 cards before passing the turn. Ducky draws, but with having no plays with only 1 card in his hand in the ritual deck, he passes the turn back to us. We draw for turn and start with Ragged Glove, sending an Ancient Cloak, and then use Ancient Cloak to add Silent Boots to the hand. I then activate Monster Reborn on Kage Muchinite before normal summoning Silent Boots and overlaying both monsters into Dante. Using the Dan Man's effect, I mill a Shade Brig, a Fogblade, and a Cloven Helm. I use the Cloven Helm to add back a PK card during the end phase, and then banish Silent Boots to add Fogblade. And after hitting in for 5500 damage total, this is pretty much the end of the game. We have 4 set cards, and Ducky only has 2 cards in hand to play through it, and with them both being in Megalith monsters, he has no chance, so we just go ahead and concedes the match to us, giving us the second win of the series. Overall, I would say this was a very successful episode. Obviously, the star of the show was Zeus. The card is just such a powerhouse, and the sheer power it provides to the deck and going second is a massive improvement for it. Cutting the hero engine in favor of the PK engine as well also really helped us out, as with more PK cards, we're able to grind longer, and also the deck is just more consistent. We were also able to summon Dark Requiem XD's Dragon this episode, so that means on episode 5 we'll be able to open a box of Dual Devastator. So in the next episode, we're going to be looking to improve the consistency of the deck, specifically our ease of access to Bardiche, as currently we still need to put 3 dark monsters on the field to summon it. So any dark link 2 that can help us put the material for Bardiche on the field is what we're looking for. I think you know what that means. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. If you did enjoy it at any point in time, please do consider clicking the like button and also subscribe if you're new for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Sealed content in the future. I also have an in-depth guide to Marincess coming out soon, so if you guys are interested in seeing how that deck performs after the new support, you should also subscribe with that notification bell on to see that as well. I also have a Twitch channel that you guys should go follow as well to see me stream Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, and a Discord where you can go ahead and interact with my community. Both links will be below the stream, as well as a link to my Twitter where you can follow me to get updates on videos and see my shit posts as well as other content. So until the next episode, from me, I will see you guys in a bit. Peace!